Okay. Am I live? Okay, guys. Hello, hello, hello. This is so weird for me. This is on an actual computer, not just recording with a cell phone. So, very interesting how this is all set up here. Okay, so I think I am live. Yay! I did it, you guys. Woohoo! I'm so impressed with myself right now. Technology is totally not my friend. So I'm just going to give everybody a chance to get on here. And then I'm just going to talk to you guys for a few minutes before people start calling in. Okay. So I definitely have some announcements before I get started with these free readings. I'm just going to turn this ringer right off here for a minute, guys. So first of all, thank you guys all for joining me today and usually Tuesday. Okay, Spirit, you have to wait. I need my brain to think until I get this information out. See, they're already calling. I can already feel it. Okay. See if I can control my own brain for a few minutes before we start these readings. Okay, guys? Because I got lots to talk about. All right. So first of all, I want you guys all to know how many of you are going to be so happy to hear this. You know that annoying beeping sound that you always hear in the background? Beep, beep, beep. People are trying to hear me talk and they're listening through the beeps of the, calling on the other line. Wow. Thanks to my wonderful friend Nikki. Here's a shout out to you, girl. She told me how to turn that off. So when you're calling in from now on, no more annoying beeping from the other line. It's going to make this a lot clearer and a lot better of readings, I think. Not just for the person being read, but also for those of you who are listening to not have to hear that constant beeping. So that being said, yay! As you guys can see, this is like all new, much clearer technology than I had before. Before I was just recording off of an old cell phone, and that finally died. So now I actually had to go out and get a laptop and get a webcam and all of that, but I think that it's starting to look pretty cool, and that this is going to work out great. Hopefully this is going to last us quite a few years, and I have big plans. I'm going to start going live a lot more coming up here, guys. So this is the stuff that I wanted to share with you. And I know my friend Linda's watching, and she's going to kill me after this because I didn't really talk to her about this. I'm just going to make her do this because A, she needs practice. B, she's like abso-friggin-lutely amazing, and she needs to know this. But anyway, so what I'm going to start doing is like once a month, I think I'm going to have guests come on. Some of my friends who work in this field that do similar things to me. My other friends don't really talk to the dead as much as I do, but like my friend Linda is extremely talented with pictures. You give her a picture, she can tell you things about that picture, and that whoever is in that picture, that will make your jaw drop. Ailments, physical ailments, things like that. She's a Reiki master, so she's an awesome lady. I would love to bring her on here one day and have her, answering some calls and some questions and whatnot for you guys, and start doing that once a month. I have some other friends of mine that are tarot readers or angel card readers, etc. And I would love to start having, guests come on and be able to start opening this up so that everybody, what I would really like to do with this is to have it so that everybody has access to the spiritual health that they need, because it can be very expensive in this industry. Some people charge $200, $300, $400, $500. I've even seen per reading, and I mean that's the beauty of these live readings every normally Tuesday, today Friday, is that there is no charge. It's my goal in all of this is just to be able to help people. I walk around with this every single day, and you have no idea how hard it is to be in a grocery store or doing your own mom things. And for example, just buying this laptop, I had to walk away several times from the sales guy because his father had passed away and he was like choking me out. So, I mean, this actually gives me an avenue to be able to release some of that and to be able to help people with that. So I'm extremely grateful for all of you that tune in. Okay, so that being said, we have to talk about Mother's Day because my Mother's Day event is coming up tomorrow. And I'm super excited and a little bit worried at the same time, guys. I still have about a dozen of these tickets left. And I know a lot of you had mentioned that you were going to try to just pick up your tickets at the door, which is fine. I will absolutely have them there. But please know that it's first comes, first serve. The space is only allowed to have 50 people. I absolutely cannot take more than 50 people. So first come, first serve, but I'm so excited to see you guys all in person. Some people are like driving down from Edmonton, or I've heard Pincher Creek. Like, oh, I'm so honored, and I'm so excited to meet some of you because I recognize some of the names that I've seen, you know, saying hi to me every week. So as excited as you guys are, I think I'm just as excited. That, and I am absolutely overwhelmed with spirit the last couple of days, not just because we have this 2-hour day coming up, but also because of all of the spirit that's coming through for the Mother's Day event already. So this is pretty exciting. Okay, I don't know if I just blacked out on your screen, but it's a new computer and there's still little pop-ups, so I don't know if you guys saw that. I apologize if you did. Anyway, one more thing I want to talk about here. So I've been racking my brain trying to find a way to kind of help fund these shows because it's not easy. I mean, I have to clear my schedule for not just the hour that I'm on live, but, you know, an hour before, an hour after to kind of organize everything and whatnot. So 3 hours of my day just to go live for 1 hour. And the equipment and all of that kind of stuff can get very expensive. So I've been racking my brain trying to find a way to fund this so that it's not coming out of my pocket, because as you guys know, I'm just a single mom of 4 kids. Like, this is it's not an easy burden for me to take on, but it's definitely not something that I regret, if that makes sense. I'm just asking for a way to try to make this so that it runs itself, if that makes sense. So I've been thinking of putting together some type of membership plan where for some really cheap price, like $10 a month or something, I will go live once or twice a month for just the members. And that way, because right now, as some of you know, it can be very difficult to get through because this phone is open to anybody, period, world. I've had people call from France, which is pretty cool. But so the member readings, which is what I'm thinking, is that 1 or 2 weekends a month, if I do have a membership, then I'll go live and only the people who have memberships can call in and set up something like that. So I'm working on something like that, just so you guys know. Share with your friends. Let's get the word out. Let's get some people the messages that they need without, you know, charging exuberant amounts of money that nobody can afford. That being said, if you can afford and you do need a private personal message that is for a whole hour, I absolutely offer those as well. And that's actually how I feed my children. So if you are looking for a private reading, I absolutely do those as well. Okay, so I have to be honest with you, I can't really think straight right now anymore. So I'm going to take a sip of water and we're going to get going here. So, all right, let me just turn my ringer back on. I can't because it's raining. Okay. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Are you calling for the free? Good. How are you?
Good. I was just tuning in live. I just turned it off since you answered.
Oh, perfect. You've watched my show before. You know how weird that is when you answer and I can hear you.
I see you many times tell people to turn the background off.
Awesome. Okay, so you are my first caller today.
Yay.
Yay. What is your first name?
My first name's Amanda.
Amanda. Okay, how does my technology look, Amanda? Does it look clearer than it did before? Or?
It was clear, and I could hear you just fine.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. That makes me very happy. Okay, so I like to start with the grounding exercise.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm already a little overwhelmed here. So if you could sit with both feet flat on the floor for me, and then if I can get you to take a deep breath, and then I'd like you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight at me. And then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay. So right off the hop, so the way that I kind of see this is that it's like a Polaroid picture that kind of develops, or whatever those are called. Kodak. I don't remember what you called them, but if you remember what I mean, if you've been around long enough to know what I mean, put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so slow down, slow down. Hold on, let me just get them to take a breath here. So right away, there's two people that step forward. They step forward holding hands. So this is usually my indication that they were together in life, so that they were married together or as a couple in life. The one is taking a deep breath, letting me know that there is breathing issues, that they can breathe clear on the other side. I've got to try to separate them because I can't tell who's talking, so give me a second here.
Okay.
Okay, so I feel like it's the gentleman that is taking the deep breath and snapping his fingers that is passing with sudden or unexpected. Oftentimes when they show me those two symbols together, it can mean heart attack.
Yes, my father died of a heart attack.
Okay, and that would mean that your mom is also on the other side, correct?
She is not.
Interesting, because he comes forward holding a lady's hand, and she feels very reluctant to let his hand go when I tried to separate them. So give me a second to figure out who she is.
Okay.
So she does a couple of things. First of all, she shows me my symbol for mobility. She does the wiggle. So that would be an indication that she either had limited mobility in the physical world or it started to really slow down towards the end of her life. Then she takes me to the head, which is my symbol for either stroke, aneurysm, dementia, Alzheimer's, or some type of communication issue. But she's also showing me my symbol for distance, and I feel like it was a long time since she's seen him. So I'm wondering if this could be his mother. So is your dad's mom on the other side as well?
No, she's not.
She's still here?
She is.
So do you know who the lady is that passed from the head and the... she definitely shows me that she had some pain or there was some frustration before she passed. I don't know if this was like a stroke and I can't move very well, or if this is like Alzheimer's and dementia that things aren't working for me properly, but then there's pain in the body.
Yeah, for his side of the family, I didn't know everyone on that side other than the immediate family. I know he did have a cousin who had passed away, I think, from mobility issues. But I don't know that I don't know anyone that he would have been in a relationship with. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It doesn't necessarily mean relationship. Usually it does. And I tell people this even when they come to see me for a private reading, is that 9 times out of 10, my symbols will mean one thing, right? Like 9 times out of 10, if spirit shows me a rose, then it means anniversary or birthday. But that 10th time, it's just because he was a florist. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So because the messages are personal to you, I can feel how strongly he's making this point that, and by the way that he brought this person through, is that this person was important to him. She was very important to him. They keep showing me the symbol for space, that there was a good deal of time between when the girl would have passed way before your dad did, because there is a huge amount of relief to be reunited on the other side. And it doesn't scare me that you can't validate it exactly at this moment, because if you can take that back to his family, they're going to know who this is.
Okay.
And I think it could be the cousin if he was very close and there was just this feeling of needing to know that his soul needing to know that he got to be with her again or get that closure.
Yeah, I would have to take that back. I could take that to my aunt.
Okay, so hold on a second. Even as you said that, he put the white blanket around her shoulders, which is my symbol for somebody who has health or stress issues. So as soon as you mentioned your aunt, he put the white blanket around her shoulders, kissed her cheek, and said, I'm watching over her too. So has she been not well recently?
My aunt is not well, no.
Yeah, okay. So that's his way of validating that he knows about this on the other side, and he's keeping a close eye.
Okay.
It's funny I bring up the rose because he's showing me the rose now. He's like, well, funny you mentioned that. He's like, I need to bring that up. He's wanting to validate the July date. There's something coming up in July. I don't know if it's an anniversary or a birthday.
His birthday.
There we go. So again, he's validating that this for sure is his soul.
Okay.
He's showing me my symbol for thank you. Hold on a second. Slow that down. So he showed me my symbol for thank you, and then he takes me to the end of his life, and I just felt very confused for a second there, and then I just felt reassured and just so grateful. Does that make sense to you?
Not really.
Okay, so what that would mean to me is that if he's taking you to the end of his life, there's some point at the end of his life, because he's making me feel all this confusion. So there's something about before he passed that he was feeling like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? Or there's this confusion about, like, it just feels like everything's different or everything's going to be different. And then he's saying thank you for somehow making that easier.
He's saying thank you to me for making things easier.
Well, when you ask that question, he points to like other people as well. But he said that what he's doing is making me feel like he never expressed that gratitude so much here in the physical world, and I feel like he's trying to express that.
Yes, I questioned his love all the time as a child. At the end of his life, I wasn't a part of it. He pulled himself away from many of us in his family.
I see. Okay, that would explain why he takes me to the end of his life and I feel all this confusion. And then he's showing the thank you because, okay, let me figure out exactly what this thank you is. Hold on. So when I ask him to clarify the thank you, he shows me the whispering of the ear, which is my symbol for that spirit has heard everything that you've said since they've passed away. So he knows of everything that you've said to him, and he's thanking you because he's saying that it needed to be said, and it's too bad that he couldn't hear it before he passed away.
Okay, that makes sense.
Again, he's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so he's got more to thank you for. Hold on. He's just like, thank you for being my kid. Like, thank you for letting me be your dad. Like, and I feel like he's going through this list of things that he wants to thank you for, that he's grateful for about having you in his life, or having you in his life. It's almost like you felt like you were a burden to him. And he's trying to let you know that he knows you felt that way, and he wants you to know how special you were to him, even if he wasn't able to voice that here in the physical world. He's learning on the other side.
Okay.
Interesting. So your parents were separated before he passed away?
Yeah, divorced.
Okay, because he shows me your mom. He separates himself and puts her over here, and then he shows me my putting on rose-colored glasses. which is my symbol for when spirit sees things differently on that side than they did when they were here in the physical world. He's like making the distinction that this is not an apology, but that he can clearly see where he could have done things differently and made this easier on everyone.
Okay.
He's also acknowledging the male to the side. Do you have a brother as well?
I do, but it's not his child.
Is there a reason that he would acknowledge him? Like, that was he like a stepfather to him for a long time, or?
Not at all, because my mom and my father divorced when I was 2. I was very young.
Okay, then I'm not sure he's
He has a brother, though, on the other side.
There we go. That would be why. Okay. Because he's just saying the male to the side, the male to the side. And I'm like, well, what? What does that mean? And this is the hard part about being a medium, is that I don't always know what these symbols mean, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So This is his way. Was the brother a smoker? Who's the smoker? Because I'm smelling cigarette smoke.
Well, my aunt, but she's still alive.
No, this is...
I don't... The little brother who passed, he was a small child when he passed away, so he wouldn't have been a smoker.
Okay. So, well, actually...
Himself was a smoker, though.
Your dad was?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I'm smelling. Hold on. Was there water involved when the brother passed?
I don't know enough detail.
Because I just feel like there's water, or I'm camping, or I don't know how to explain that, but I'm feeling like a lot of water, a lot of panic, a lot of... So what your dad is doing, this is interesting, because what your dad is doing is he's bringing forward people from the other side that he's... I think what he's trying to do is to let you know that he's found peace on the other side by being reunited with the people that were tragically ripped from his life. I don't feel like he was very good at dealing with emotions, if that makes sense. No, he was not. And
yes, it does.
I feel like that's what he's trying to validate here in the physical world. And as I say that, he looks at you and shows me my symbol for pride, how proud he is of you for how well you deal with emotions. He makes me feel, though, that you're an expert, like you do it for a living.
Well, I am a very emotional person, and I don't do it for a living, though.
He's like, it's almost, the way he's explaining this is like, in order to be in your career, you have to be an expert at managing emotion.
Yes, I work in a legal field.
Okay.
Professional field, yeah.
Slow this down. He's pulling his energy back, but it's funny because as he pulls his energy back, he's like throwing hearts and love at you and thanking you for giving him this second chance. Because it feels like, and I feel like he's acknowledging that at some point you forgave him.
Yeah.
And he wants you to know that as you did that, his soul was right beside you. And he's asking you for the opportunity to allow him to let him back into your life. His body might not be here anymore, but his soul is still here. And when you talk to him and you ask him for signs and symbols and, you know, just an indication that he's here, or some help, guidance going forward, whatever it might be, he can absolutely help with those things.
I have done that before, and anytime I do that, I find dimes.
Because this is his symbol to let you know that he's working on it. He's like, she'll ask me for something even bigger, and I want her to know that I heard her and I'm working on it, so I'll send the dime. And then she gets frustrated going, I didn't want a dime, I wanted this.
Yeah, $1 million would be nice.
He's like, well, I just saw him look up going, can I do that? If I can do that, I'll do that. Like, give me some time. I'm working on it. His way to just please know as he pulls his energy back that his soul is safe and at peace on the other side. And more importantly, he's still learning lessons and learning to love on the other side. And he's extremely grateful.
I'm happy to hear that.
that, well, he's extremely grateful that you have allowed him back into your heart, because you are one of the best teachers that he could ever ask for into how to rein and control those emotions, because you deal with very similar ones. He gave you that. And so by you mastering them and learning to control them, he's learning that from you. And I think that's why he keeps showing me the thank you sign and how grateful he is over and over and over again.
I'm happy to hear that.
Well, I hope that was helpful for you.
It was. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And how much better was that there's the other line's not beeping the whole time?
Yeah, it was good.
It was
I
nice.
know when I've watched your live videos before, and I've heard it within the phone while you do it. So that's great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You have a great day, Amanda.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that's so cool. Turn up my ringer. Okay. No time to think. All right, here we go, guys. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Are you calling for the free readings?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Okay, so, hold on a second. You have a lot of spirit just jumping in all quick, like, give me a second. I can't even think straight. Okay. What is your first name?
Anne.
Anne. Okay, Anne. I'm going to get you to do my little grounding exercise here, that hopefully this will help me organize, because I feel like somebody just put me into a very loud, crowded, very loud room. So let's try to like organize this here. Okay, so if I can get you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for a minute.
Right.
And then I'd like you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly bringing it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight at me through the phone. And then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay, I want to start, I think, with the mother figure that like rushes forward, wraps her arms around you, and just like envelops you in as much nurturing as I've felt in a long time.
Okay.
Hold on a sec. She's kind of bypassing. Usually I ask Spirit when they step forward to tell me how they passed away, to just validate, but she's like, she's doing this her way, so she's a little stubborn. Or
what is she doing? I apologize.
That's okay. She's validating her way. So
her way.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's a little bit stubborn, or it's either that she's a little bit stubborn here in the physical world, or you don't really know how she passed. I'm not sure which one it is yet, but she's doing this her way, she says. And even by her doing that, that feels to me like something that would validate who she is.
Okay. I'm confused, but it's a lady figure.
It is definitely a lady. So give me a second. She's still validating. Sometimes in the beginning, they just throw a bunch of stuff at me, and then we have to go back and like figure out what it means. So give me a second here.
Thank you.
I see.
Okay, I'm looking at the screen, and you're talking, but I don't hear you through the phone.
Oh, well, the screen has a bit of a lag on it.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask you, because I thought this is weird. I'm not hearing what she's saying, but then I hear stuff.
No, that's why I asked people to turn the video down in the background, because there is
down. It's all the way.
Perfect. Yeah, there is a little bit of I think it's like a 20 or 30-second lag on there.
Okay, not a problem.
Okay, so let me just go back again. Give me a second here. Okay, so what she does is so she's still not telling me how she passed away yet, but she's talking about the stress that's around you, and that she's here because she needs to answer some of those questions, and she needs to bring through the mail. So I'm not sure who that is yet. Like I said, the way they came through was very weird. It was like a big, huge, crowded room.
Okay.
I'm starting to understand this now as she's talking about this. They're bringing through the male spirit that is on the other side, but as they bring him through, and this used to confuse me a lot when I first started doing the mediumship, but what happens is the person that we really want to speak to, they're not the first person that steps forward. Everybody who is on the other side before that person passed away steps forward, so that you know that there was never a time that their soul was alone on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm not even sure who she is, but she definitely feels like a grandmother, or maybe even a great-grandmother or an auntie. It's definitely a mother figure of some sort, and because she's very nurturing, very trying to fill you up to eliminate some of the grief or the stress that is around you. Hold on.
Could be. There's quite a few people that have passed.
Okay, I'm gonna, as he's coming forward now, I'm gonna get him to validate who he is. I see why that's happening. So this gentleman is stepping forward, and he's got white lighters all around him. White lighters. So what I call white lighters are basically beings, spiritual beings that are pure white light, and they typically surround somebody who either took their own life or takes responsibility for their passing, or whose passing was tragic or unexpected, in the sense that the people that are left here in the physical world would need a lot of healing around this person's passing. So the person that's stepping forward, that, okay, when I tell you that all these people on the other side are bringing this one male person forward.
Is it an older person, a younger person?
I don't really feel the age on the spirit as of this point. It would be the person, I feel like this is the person that passed in the tragedy, that there was a lot of grief around this person's loss, because that's all I've been feeling. Like, since the moment that you started talking, I can feel the grief, the loss, and I don't know if it's coming specifically from you, or if this is like you lost a cousin or something in the physical world and your auntie is like devastated. I'm not sure, but this person around them has a lot of grief and loss. So it's somebody that passed quick or unexpected, that it's a tragic death.
There could be two people. A friend had lost her nephew very tragically, and I never knew him, but I have been asking him to try and give me a sign. But also my daughter, it was very tragic. Her baby died inside her 3 days before she was to go in.
Okay, so
to have her baby.
Okay, so you saying that gives me goosebumps. But this is not a child. This is the young man that passed tragically or unexpectedly, and the grief that is around the family because of that passing.
That would be not my family, because I don't know this individual.
So you know what? That makes perfect sense. And I'm so glad you called today, because this is a very great example for people calling in on how this works. People, people accuse me of like cold reading or whatever. I can't cold read somebody information you don't even know. So this is somebody that is very close to you that lost their son. Correct? That's right.
No, she lost her nephew.
Or sorry, her nephew.
Close to me. I met her,
right,
on Facebook.
Okay.
And,
was this
But
recently?
it was an awful tragedy what happened to her nephew.
Okay, and you've been asking him to send you a sign.
Pardon me?
You've been asking him to send you a sign?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here saying that, there's this young man coming through who passed tragically or unexpectedly, and there's a huge amount of grief around him. So that would make sense. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that is the young man that is coming through. And that explains why, remember when the lady was coming through first and she was wrapping her arms around you and providing so much nurturing and love and whatnot? I think that's gratitude. I think she's expressing her gratitude for even you phoning in today to be able to get this message to this boy's mama or his auntie. Hold on a second. She's like naming the whole family for me. She's like, it's not just the auntie. She's like, there's the mama and the father and she's like showing me this whole family that needs this message so badly. So
no, her mother passed away 2 months later.
Isn't that interesting? Because
3 months it was.
Interesting. So do you know how the mother passed away? If it was well, you'll have to go back and watch this later because
Yes, I will.
And see if those symbols match, because that would make sense to me why you didn't understand. But he's being very forceful. He won't let me move on until you understood who he was and that he is safe and at peace on the other side.
Yeah, they haven't been able to. I'm praying this is the person that you're speaking with.
Unless you know other young men who have passed tragically or unexpectedly that you've been asking to give you signs that would step forward in this manner, then I'm fairly certain this would be the same person.
I do know some friends from years ago that had passed, and I've been speaking to them recently saying I didn't know that, you about your funeral. I would have been there. I'm
okay.
So sorry.
Okay, the thing that makes me understand that this would be the young man that you were just talking about and not your friends from the past is because if these were your friends from the past, they would have shown me my different symbols, like my symbol for time lapse, or you know what I mean, like symbols a little bit differently. I'm pretty confident that it's that person, but I have to like kind of move along here because there's another spirit. You talked earlier about your daughter's loss. So now I have another lady that is stepping forward. And she's holding the soul of this child. So I would like to figure out who this lady is. So give me just a second.
Okay.
She's making me feel like this cough. Like, where did this cough come from? And then she shows me my symbol for the C, which is my symbol for cancer or some other type of debilitating disease. And she's showing me the body scan that it was like one thing went wrong after another, but it just happened so fast, like everything just so fast.
Okay. I don't know if maybe it's my phone if you can talk a little bit louder, but this woman came forward with a baby, but there's a cough. And
yes.
She's coughing?
She's got a cough and she's okay, hold on. Let me go back and get her to do that again. Okay, so she shows me the cough. She shows me the C, which is my symbol for cancer or some other type of debilitating disease.
Right.
And she's talking about how everything happened so fast. It was like one thing after another, after another, after another, and then she was gone.
Yes.
Okay, so who is that to you? It feels like, to be honest with you,
people, but I do believe it's my girlfriend again.
That same. Okay.
But my mother had cancer, but she didn't have the coughing.
But your girlfriend had the cough before she passed?
Yes, she couldn't breathe hardly.
Okay, that would be why she started with that, right? See, that's why they will do that. Like, sometimes we'll know 3 people that'll die from cancer, right? So that can be very general. So they'll bring something up specific like that cough, so you can differentiate who that is, right?
Okay.
So she's got the soul of that child on the other side. She
has what?
She's got the soul of the child that your daughter lost on the other side.
Oh.
But she's showing me, she's holding him up. She's like, he looks perfect. He looks perfect.
He was perfect.
She said, there's nothing wrong with him. Like, and then she shows me the question marks, like so there's lots of questions like why?
Yeah.
Definitely, I felt the grief around that. Definitely.
Yes. We couldn't understand.
But she takes me to the heart.
His neck.
I see.
4 times.
It's almost like that stopped his heart or stopped the breathing because she's taking me to the chest. If it's not the heart, she's taking me to the chest, and it's like I just feel like it just stops.
Yeah. And my daughter had said prior, 3 days, before she went in to have the ultrasound, the last ultrasound, she said, something's not right. Something's not right. And she went and laid down.
Please tell your daughter, this is what he just said to me. He's like, you tell my mommy that I felt her holding me. Did she get a chance to hold him before you laid him to rest? Because he's making me feel like she held him, that he felt held by his mother. I can hear her saying to him, and I can feel her breath against my face.
I can't remember if she held him because it was such a tragedy for her. She was so distraught. I held him.
You held him. Okay.
I rocked him.
Then this is you he's talking about, because he's making me feel like I'm in somebody's arms. I'm being held. I can feel the breath on my face. I can feel somebody stroking my hair, and I can hear the singing.
That was me.
So please know that while you were doing that, his soul was with you at that exact moment. And he's talking about being so proud of his name. He loves his name, and he's like thanking everybody for giving him his name. Almost like we weren't going to name him. It's almost like there was a question, do we give him a name, do we not? I don't know how to explain that, but he's thanking everyone for his name.
No, she had picked that name and was determined, you know, he was still going to have that birth certificate and everything.
I see.
With that name.
So he wants to thank you guys for that.
She felt it very different. I thought it was a different way she felt it. And she said, that's how I want to do it. And I said, that's fine.
Aw.
That was her way. She wanted it different than, you know, other people spell the name.
Right. So he's pulling his energy back, but he's getting very excited about the baby girl. Is she pregnant again? Or did she have a baby after?
No.
Interesting.
I haven't talked to her for a while. She doesn't have a phone, and something inside me keeps saying, oh my goodness, is she pregnant again?
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty sure she is, and he is very excited about this little girl. He's like, I am going to be the best big brother on this side. I'm going to watch over her. Nobody's going to mess with my sister. Almost like this is his gift to her, that he needs her to know that there was nothing that she did wrong. There was nothing she could have done to have changed this outcome, that some things are just, it just is, you know?
We couldn't, yeah, he was perfect in every way.
And that's the first thing that he showed me as his soul came forward, was that that's the first thing your friend said, was as she held him up, she's like, look at, he's perfect, he's perfect.
So he was.
Just know that his soul is still with you guys on the other side, and growing and learning on the other side. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, it was.
All right. You have a great day. Pardon?
And the older one said that he's fine now, that he's okay. And there was a validation, we don't know from who, that they were bringing him forward.
For your friend, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, that he is absolutely okay, and that the lady, you'll have to go back and watch this, but because I can't, she's not here at this moment, but she described very, very carefully who she was, how she passed away. So hopefully his family will know who that is.
Okay, wait, they don't know how he passed away.
No, the lady that brought him forward,
yes,
she described how she passed away. So hopefully his family will know who she is.
Okay, because I didn't think that you said that she knew, you didn't know how she passed away.
When he first started coming through, remember at the very beginning, there was a lady that's right, that she wasn't talking about how she passed away. Okay, you were absolutely, see, I have to take my brain back. I'm just in the moment, right? I just say what they say when they're here. So when I have to try to remember what they said, it's like, I don't remember. Hold on. All I can tell you is that I feel like if you go back, they're going to know who this lady was. It's like, I just feel like the way that whatever she said to validate, because I can't remember what that was, but his family is going to know who she is by whatever was said.
Okay.
Which I can't remember now because she's not here right now. If that makes sense.
I don't think she said anything, but I will listen
Okay.
to the video and go from there.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
You're very welcome. You have a great day.
You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys. I know it can be frustrating understanding the signs and symbols that Spirit says sometimes. Just try to work with me here, guys. Remember, these are personal to you guys. So, there we go. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Are you calling for the free readings?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so what is your first name?
Rhoda.
Sorry, say that again.
Rhoda.
Rhoda?
Yes.
Okay. So, Rhoda, I'd like to start with the grounding exercise, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So if I can get you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for a minute. And then I want you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe and slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then give me a minute to focus. Okay. Okay, give me just a second here. Okay, so interesting. There's a gentleman, but there's also a child, and there's a couple people in the distance that I'm not quite sure who this is yet. So let me just try to focus in on one, okay?
Okay.
I feel like the gentleman is stepping forward with the person that's underneath him. I don't know if this person died when they were a child or if I have like father and son coming through, but I definitely have a man coming through with either a child or somebody that was underneath of him.
I'm the child.
I can hardly hear you, hun. Can you say that again?
Sorry, I did have a couple of miscarriages.
I see. Okay. Hold on a second. Get the guy to validate who he is. The gentleman shows me two things. Okay, so the first thing he does is he shows me my symbol for the native culture, which is a feather. So do you have a connection with the native culture?
Yes.
Okay, so he shows me that, and then, hold on. He snaps his fingers, which is my symbol that is passing with sudden or unexpected. But as I say that, he says, well, it might have been sudden, but it wasn't really unexpected, because he's making me feel like he's taking some responsibility for how he passed away. That it's almost like, you know, maybe it's the lifestyle that he was living. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this to you?
My three sons' father.
There we go. Okay. And that's interesting. That would explain to me why he's coming forward, showing me that he's the father of the child, right? So,
Yes.
Because he stepped forward with the child. So it's his way to let you know that he is reunited with the children on the other side, because at least one of those that you lost was his, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
It was a boy.
he's letting you know, and so that's exactly, because that's how he stepped forward, was showing you that there was two males. So it was absolutely a boy.
Okay.
And it's funny because even as I say that, he's like, Tracy, she needed to know that for a long time. That's been weighing on her. Just whether or not it was a girl or a boy, she needed to know that.
Mm-hmm.
He's showing me my symbol for apology and the rose-colored glasses, which is when spirit sees things differently on that side than they did when they were here in the physical world.
Yeah.
And he's like, he shows me my symbol for thank you and patience. So he's talking, even as I say that, he's like, oh gosh, you have no idea how much patience that girl had with me. He's like, I don't know where she would get it from.
I know. He was a handful, along with my boys.
You know what he does? He flirts with you, though. He goes, I was a sexy handful, though, wasn't I?
No, I was actually expecting my mom or somebody.
Yeah. See, I know you're not the first person to say that to me. I wasn't expecting this person to step forward. I was expecting someone else. Like, hello. He's like, you know what, though? He wasn't going to miss this opportunity to let you know that he was truly grateful for the influence that you had in his life and to thank you for being the mother that you are to his boys. He really needs you to know that you don't give yourself enough credit, that you've done this the majority on your own, and that you need to give yourself some more credit for that because you've done a fantastic job. Like, he's showing me the test on the fridge, which is my symbol for achievement. So one of these boys has done really, really well in life.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
He's like, don't worry, she's here. He's bringing forward the mother figure. He's not going to take the whole time. He's going to allow her to come through before. He just needed to take that time and let you know that he's extremely sorry for what he put you through, that he's still loving and guiding the boys and you on the other side, and that his soul has not left you and is still learning lessons on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, so this mother figure comes forward and she immediately takes me to the head. Slow this down. Interesting how she does that. She takes me to the head, but then I just feel like, would everybody stop talking? Like, it's almost like, oh, this is too much. It's not the same way that Spirit usually takes me to the head. I just feel like I'm overwhelmed, massively overwhelmed. Would that make sense before she passed away?
I'm guessing. I wasn't with her when she passed. I didn't see her for a month and a half.
But, okay, so hold on. She's like, okay. She took my breath away and snapped her fingers very quick or unexpected. And as I'm snapping my fingers, she's saying that. So those two symbols together often indicate heart attack. Would that make sense?
No, well, I'm not quite sure, but she did die of something else.
But it was sudden or unexpected. There was a breathing thing towards the end.
I heard her breathing, yes.
Okay, that would be
over the phone. Yeah.
I see. Okay, so this is a perfect example of how 9 times out of 10, when Spirit shows me that not being able to breathe and the sudden or unexpected, it means heart attack. In this case, what she's saying is you heard the not being able to breathe before she passed, and then she's snapping her fingers that she passed right after that.
Yeah, it wasn't too long after when she passed away. It was actually about 7 hours later. But she I don't know, people said that she waited for me to talk to her before she passed away because everybody else was there, all my siblings.
She's showing me the whispering of the ear, which is my symbol for when Spirit has heard everything that you've said since they've been on the other side. And she said, hold on a second, I want to get this right. She said it's a mama's instinct to want to say goodbye to everybody when you know that you're leaving. However, to know that you were, it's almost like she's seen everything that you've done on the, like, since she's been on the other side, she's been able to see your life from a different angle. And she's talking about how the fact that you are living your life exactly the way that she wanted you to live it, that you're being happy, that you're doing what you need to do. And it's not like you just didn't show up at the end when she was, you know, passing. It was that you were taking care of things that you needed to take care of. And she needs you to know how incredibly proud she is of you for that. She doesn't want you to carry that burden that you didn't make it to see her. She said that ends today. She's like, because you know what? I heard every single thing that you said to me, and I felt your soul there. Hold on a second. She's not done. She's giving you a lecture in a very loving way, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
She's like, you know me. She just wrapped her arms around you, and she's like, don't think that you have to go the rest of your life without me, because she's acknowledging that she can hear you saying, how am I going to do this without you? How am I going to do this without you?
I constantly say that.
She needs you to know that you're not doing this without her, that her soul has not left you, and that her spirit is right beside you through each and everything that you experience in your life, with every success that you achieve and every, you know, pitfall that you experience, that her soul will be right there beside you, loving and guiding you along the way. And when you need her, you just let her know. You ask her for a sign. You talk to her. You let her know what you need, because she loves you enough that she's going to do everything in her power to make sure that you know she's there with you.
Okay.
She's very proud of you, and she told me to say that again and again and again. So she's overemphasizing that I'm proud of you, which Spirit often does when they didn't say it enough here in the physical world. So it's almost like she needs you to understand that she's very well aware of the changes that you've made in your life and that you've been trying to make since she passed away, and that she's extremely proud of you for that. She's showing me the quitting smoking, my symbol for quitting smoking or quitting addiction. So who just quit something?
Well, I just quit taking the medication, like acetaminophen with codeine, like they call it Tylenol ones.
Right.
I quit that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've
And
taken that for a while.
you were taking that before Mom passed away, correct?
No.
Okay.
I started taking that during my before my transplant.
I see. Okay. Either way, it's her way to let you know that she's very well aware that it wasn't easy for you to stop taking that medication, and that she's proud of you for reaching that milestone. And that would explain why she's taking that white blanket off of your shoulders. She's not showing me putting one on. She's just like taking one off. But the interesting is she's taking it off in layers. It's like, almost like I'm peeling an onion. So the white blanket is my symbol for somebody who has health or stress issues. So you just said you had a transplant, which makes sense for that. But she's showing me that it's slowly coming off in layers. I'm not sure what that means. That health is getting like better each week or something.
Yeah, my liver is.
She just reached down and placed a baby in your arms.
A baby?
Yes. She's like, this is my last gift to you. Hold on. I know, I'm confused too, because like it feels weird. So give me a second. I'm not sure what she's doing here. I don't even know how to describe this, because I don't know if this is even coming from you or if this is like a grandchild. I can't see you face to face to see how old you are, if you're even childbearing years or what, but somehow or another there's a child coming back into your life, and this feels like the soul of the child that you lost. They're coming back. Like this is going to be in your life. So are you still in childbearing years?
No.
So this could be like, so this could be like grandchild then, correct?
I have 2 grandchildren.
Okay, let's go there, because this child could have already been here. Just what she showed me was taking this little boy and placing him in your arms and saying, this is my last gift to you. So
Okay.
did you just have a grandson not long ago?
Well, a year ago.
There you go. It's her way of acknowledging that she knows of him on the other side, and that she's watching over him here in the physical world, and that he's very good for your soul.
He is, definitely is. He and my other granddaughter.
She's like, that's what you need to focus on, honey. That's what you need to focus on. Almost like she's like telling, it's almost like there's some stresses going on in your life, and it doesn't even feel directly with you. It's like you're stressing about other people. I don't know if this would be kids or family or whatnot. It's like I'm stressed about what they're doing. So,
yes,
yeah.
I am.
And your mom is like, you know what? You just focus on those little grandbabies and you don't worry about what other people are doing. You got this.
Okay.
It's going to work out just fine. They'll work their own stuff out. You just focus on your life so that you don't give yourself that stress, because you don't need that stress.
Okay. I'll listen, Mama.
She's pulling her energy back, but as she does, she's
No.
singing happy birthday. So somebody just had the birthday or it's coming up. I feel like I want to go to June. Sorry, what?
No, my birthday was in April. June would be my son Nolan.
Okay. She just said there's two. She goes, there's one at the beginning and one at the very end.
Oh, Carl and who's at the end? I don't know. I've got a big family, so gonna have to look it up.
Interesting. Well, when you do, you see, this is what I love, because you know that I didn't pull that from your brain somehow mysteriously through the phone, because you didn't even know it, right?
Yeah. She's still there?
She is, yeah. She's like,
Yes.
yeah.
I need to know where the blue photo album is.
Okay, hold on a second. You know what she says when you say that is she's like, well, if you guys weren't moving my shit all over the place, like, I feel like it's been bounced all over, like we've been moving it back and forth, back and forth. If you didn't move it so much, you'd know where my stuff was.
Huh. Okay. For one, my mom wouldn't talk like that.
See, part of that is me. Excuse my language.
Okay.
Because part of that is me. You got to understand, my personality comes into the mix.
Okay,
What they do is they tap into my personality to get me to say what they need me to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So if we take my personality out of this, she would say, if you guys didn't move all of that stuff around, then you would know where it is. Why did it go back and forth? Whose house did it go back and forth from?
Well, I gave the photo album to my brother, and then I don't know where he put it after that.
See, that's why she's saying if you didn't, like, pass it around, you'd know where it is. Isn't that funny? Okay, so hold on. You know, I have to say that I feel like she's enjoyed, you know, I think she kind of did that on purpose, got me to say something like that on purpose, because what she did when
I talk like that?
well, what she did was she took me to, like, her here in the physical world, and she shows me my symbol for, excuse my language, this is my word, tight ass. Somebody who, you know, is very careful with their speech and very prim and proper, or very careful about how we speak, et cetera, et cetera. And then
Yes.
she takes me to the other side, and she's like, but I'm learning to lighten up on this side, which is why she got me to say it very energetically, because she doesn't want you to think that you're disappointing her by being who you are. She's embracing who you are, because she just pointed from me to you, and she said, well, she's a lot like you.
Yeah, definitely. With the language.
I try. You guys have no idea. I can cuss like a sailor sometimes. I don't mean to. It just comes out of my
I know,
mouth.
I spit.
I think it's a parent thing. When you've got 4 kids like me, it's just, you know, it comes out. You're sometimes, are you fucking kidding me? Like, excuse my language, guys. That just happens, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I do have 4 kids too.
There you see, there we go. So we're a lot alike in that sense. Aw. Well, your mom is pulling her energy back. I hope that was
I
helpful
love
for
you,
you.
Mom.
Aw, I hope you know she loves you too. I hope that was helpful.
It was. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You take care.
You too. Thanks.
Bye. Oh, see, that breaks my heart. This is why I really like private readings, because they last for a whole hour, hour and a half sometimes, and I can just take my time and go through it. I know it's hard sometimes when people lose that connection. Okay, I'm just going to see what time it is here. Holy goodness, we've already been through a whole hour. But guess what? We still got another hour to go. So, all right, here we go. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Are
I'm so happy you answered.
I know, but isn't this wonderful without the beeping going on?
Yes, so much better.
I have to agree. Okay, so what is your first name?
Kiera.
Tierra?
Kiera, like the Sierra Mountains, but with a K. You read for me once.
Okay, we've been through this, like my daughter, but with a K.
Yeah, exactly.
This is sounding familiar. Okay, hold on a second. So we're going to start with the grounding exercise, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So if I can get you to put both feet flat on the floor for me. And then I want you to take a deep breath. Picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, couple of things. So, who do I want to start with here? Give me a second.
No worries.
So what I have coming forward, who I have coming forward, not what, excuse me, who I have coming forward, there is a couple that comes forward holding hands. So usually that is an indication that they were together here in the physical world. But they also talk about the father figure that they're bringing through. I can hear the song Daddy's Hands in my head, and that's usually an indication that there's a father figure on the other side. Is your father on the other side?
No.
Okay.
I don't know my biological father, so
interesting.
Yeah, I don't really have an answer for that one.
Oh, interesting. I do. Okay, so this couple that is coming through that would have been together here in the physical world, there's definitely a feeling of like, how do I put this? Of like that they were, hold on, they're talking as I'm talking. Slow this down.
Sounds good.
Okay, so this would either be two people that were together in the physical world, or that would have some very close type of bond, like father, son, mother, whatever, you know what I mean? But as they're coming forward, they're talking about the father, the father, the father, the father, the father. That's why I'm hearing the song, Daddy's Hands. And as soon as you said, I don't know my biological father, I heard them go, exactly why we're here. That's exactly what we need to talk about. And I saw somebody trying to find something. Have you been looking for him?
No, I haven't tried at all.
Is it something that you thought of?
I'm almost wondering if it's my grandfather. He went missing in 2012, but we discussed that last time, so I don't think that he would come forward again.
You don't think. I do this all the time, and oftentimes they just keep coming forward. So hold on a second.
Okay. Or if you know how they died, I could definitely let you know.
Okay, so give me a second. It's as soon as you said if you know how they died, my brain went blank and I felt absolute confusion. So there was somebody had Alzheimer's or dementia or something there. Hold on. Okay, they're getting me very confused. I got to slow this down and go back. Give me a second. Okay, so I understand what that is. So they thought they were making this easier because we have talked before, I think, by coming through the grandparents that would come through, bringing through the father figure, or which would be like a grandfather, that the feeling of finding them is around. So if your grandfather was missing and they're bringing forward the male father figure that you would have had to find, then that would make sense to me. It's just their way of saying that we're coming through and so is he. So that would be 2 grandparents on one side of the family, and then on the other side is this other grandfather.
Yeah, my great grandma was also a huge part of my life, and I haven't really heard from her.
You're like, I don't want to hear from you, Grandpa. Where's my grandma?
Kind of, a little bit. I love you, Grandpa. But
So
yeah, every reading, he's always in every reading. I see a psychic regularly here in Calgary, and I hear from him a lot.
And you know what? I think part of that is because he was missing or whatnot for so long. Everyone was searching for him, that he's like the first one to show up.
Yeah.
But okay, so I want to go back to those other people, the 2 that are holding hands. I'm going to get them to validate who they are.
Okay.
Again, I feel this sense of confusion. Somebody's taken me to the end of their life, and I feel like I'm just very confused. Hold on. Aw, so the lady definitely has a very sweet feeling to her. She's talking about being, it's her that's the confused one. She's taking me to the end of her life, and she's making me feel like it's a little confusing, like I don't really know what's going on anymore. Everyone just does what I need them to do, and, you know, I try not to complain. Like, I feel like this person has a very sweet personality, maybe didn't complain a lot, and just, she talks about that she lived a very long and complete life. She's not taking me to exactly how she died, but this is how she's talking.
I feel like that would be my Mimi.
Okay, but she has the gentleman with her on the other side.
That would be my granddad.
Okay.
That was the love of her life.
So she's like, see, I was here since the very beginning, but I wanted you to know that I brought him through as well.
Thank you.
Okay, interesting. Slow this down. She just put you in a dress. Like, I don't know if this is a prom dress, a wedding dress. I just feel the fanciness around it. And she talks about how beautiful you look. She's like, doesn't she look stunning? And I'm like, well, I can't see her for one, but what are you trying to say? Like, did this just happen, or is this coming up? It's something about you having to get very dressed up and how beautiful that you looked.
Sure.
And even as I'm saying this, I'm hearing wedding bells. So she's acknowledging a wedding. Slow this down. Did you get married after she passed away? Wait. Even that's why I said wait, because even as I say that, she's talking about not an actual wedding, but union. Why is she showing me the union after she passes away? Because that's what usually wedding bells represent, is 2 lives coming together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's talking about the union.
I haven't, the only thing I can think of is my graduation. Other than that, I don't really know. But that was, I graduated from school in 2016.
Was it after she passed away?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first part of what she was saying, where she was putting you in a dress and talking about how beautiful you looked. That would have been the event she was talking about attending. But then she's also talking about the union. She's like, Tracy, we're not moving from this until she gets this, because it's very important. So hold on. Are you currently single then, hun?
Yeah.
That would be why.
Yeah, I've heard from my recent reading that 2020 is apparently a baby, an engagement, or marriage.
There you go. That would make sense with what she's saying, because she's showing me this union. We have to talk about this union. She's so excited to let you know that she's watching and you know, participating in your life on the other side. She knows even before you do.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm very ready.
She said it's because you've learned to stop settling.
Yeah.
And that it's been like the hardest year of your life. Have you?
It has.
So you've been like single for like 15 months or something like this?
Since October. I was in a 9-month relationship, but it was not a very good one.
Wait. It's April, May, so October, November. Okay, wait, 9, 10, 15. Shut up. So just saying. Okay, so she showed me that you've been single for 15 months, right? You said you were in not a good relationship for 9 months, and it's been 6 months since there. Guess what? That's 15 months. So she's saying you were single even throughout that relationship, and because you learned that something is not better than nothing, now you're going to be able to welcome a very good person in your world.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
She's like, baby, I hear you talk to me all the time. And then she's talking about visiting you in your dreams.
Yeah, I get a lot. I get a lot of visitations, thankfully.
She's like, just know that that is real, that that is her soul that's stepping forward to talk to you in your dreams and to stay connected. And then she talks about a promise that she promised that she would always stay connected no matter what. And that she intends to keep that. And she's showing me the flowers popping up. She's like, oh, aren't those pretty? I made those happen.
Yeah.
Like there's flowers that just popped up out of nowhere or appeared out of nowhere somewhere.
Yeah, that and butterflies.
There you go. So when you see those, please know that that's her soul letting you know that she's with you at that exact moment. As she pulls her energy back, she's showing me my symbol for pride, how proud she is of you. But she's also letting you know that she has this small animal on the other side. I don't know if this is a dog or a cat. I just know that it's a small animal.
Timbit.
She's like, you got to let her know. I'm pulling my energy back, but you got to let her know that she's here or he's here.
Yeah. Awesome.
Aw, well, I hope that that was helpful. And
It was.
Interesting. She just said that it's been noted that you don't need to talk to him as much. It's almost like there was this feeling of, it got so built up of everybody just needed to know where he is, where is he, where is he, and we're asking about him all the time. So it's normal for them to step forward and bring him first.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Definitely.
She's like, we're just covering all our bases, dear. Oh, she's not going to let me pull back. I thought she was. Hold on. She wants to talk about something about the clothes. Do you still have her, like, blouse or shirt or something like this?
I don't think I do.
Why is she showing me? I don't know why she's showing me this, but I'm seeing, like, my grandmother's old flowery blouse. It's, like, purple and pink and, like, I don't know why I'm seeing this.
I don't know.
Is there a picture of or something of her wearing this purpley pink blouse or something?
I'm looking at a photo right now of her, and she's wearing a blue blouse.
Is it like
Like blue and purple.
there we go. So that would be see, that's exactly as I said. I was starting to pull her energy back, and she starts showing me this, you know, color and this picture, because it's her way of letting you know that she's with you at that exact moment, this exact moment, and that she knows that you're looking at her at this exact moment. Just so that you don't doubt as you go forward in your life that when she is right beside you.
Thanks.
I hope that that was helpful.
I do have one question.
Okay.
I lost a baby in November, and I was just wondering if she was with him or her, it.
She's like, don't you be sad for 1 second, is what she says. She like shows me wiping those tears, and she's like, because your life is going to get so much better. She's like, this soul of this child is going to come back to you, but with a proper dad, with in a better family, in a better situation, that losing that child was not something that was done to hurt you. You didn't lose that child. That child chose to have a better father, if that makes sense. and to come
Yeah.
into a more loving situation. So you gave a great gift to that child by letting that child go, and he will be back. He will be back. I hope that was helpful. You're welcome.
That was awesome. Thanks, Tracy.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whew, see, this is where I need a friend here so I can like sneak off and go pee. But I'm gonna try to like power through another 40 minutes here, guys, without peeing my pants. So let's try this. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Are you calling for the free readings?
I am.
Awesome. What is your first name?
It's Amanda.
Amanda. Okay, you're my second Amanda today. That's funny.
Awesome.
It's been a month of Amandas, I have to tell you. I've given a reading to an Amanda almost once per week or once a week for the last month.
Oh, wow.
It's so
Popular
funny.
name this week, then.
There we go. Okay, so I like to start with a grounding exercise. So if I can get you to put both feet flat on the floor for a minute.
Okay.
And then I want you to take a deep breath, but picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, well, I want to start with the tragedy. Because, yeah, it's very confusing. Give me a second here. I'm hearing, like, I think this was maybe a car accident or something, because I'm hearing tires squeal. I'm seeing my symbol for tragedy. Who's the person that you lost in the unexpected or unknown tragedy, like, that happened unexpectedly?
I can't think of anyone that's passed that way.
Interesting. This is coming through very clear. So hold on. Let me just ask for more information.
Or that I don't know of.
Pardon me?
Or that I don't know of from my family.
Yeah. They don't want to move on. They just keep making me hear and feel the same things. I'm just seeing, like, I'm pretty sure this is car accident. So.
Oh, you know what? My birth mom's dad had passed away in a car accident. When she was like 14 or 15, but that's the only.
That's okay. That would make perfect sense to me. So he's taking this opportunity to come forward.
Okay.
Because he wouldn't go away. Like, you're saying that didn't make sense to you, and I'm going, well, that's who's here. So.
And I don't know really anything of him. Okay.
Doesn't mean he doesn't know you.
Yeah.
And he's definitely got a message. So
Yeah.
that would explain to me also, because, see, I've learned to trust spirit. Usually I ask them to step forward and tell me who it is, who they are to you and how they passed away. He didn't really do that. I was just feeling car accident. He was like, that's all you needed to know was car accident.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on. Interesting. He definitely, okay. So this gentleman has definitely been watching over you your whole life. I'd be surprised if you didn't feel him. Have you gone your whole life and felt like you have this guardian angel, or you have this soul that is watching over you and you can almost just feel them?
Sometimes, yeah.
That's your grandfather.
Awesome.
Hold on a second. He keeps talking about how that you've had a pretty harsh life, that it definitely has not been an easy life.
Yeah.
Which is why his soul, whether you know him or not, is around you. And he's also emitting a lot of male love. He's making it very clear that he is not doing this in a pervy, creepy way. He's doing this in a way as if you haven't had a lot of healthy male love in your life. And
That is true.
that's
People that should be there. Yeah.
That's why it's him that's coming forward, because see, Spirit knows what message it is that you need to hear. And he's talking about that he is loving you so much on the other side that what you need to know is that you are perfect in every way to him. And he's like talking about stop cutting yourself down. Okay, so he's going a little, he's getting crazy here. He's talking about hearing your self-talk. And the way that you're talking to yourself is not okay. He's like, how can you say that? That's my granddaughter. She's perfect. She's so beautiful. She's so perfect. Hold on. Slow this down. He's trying to love you up enough on the other side so that you stop going to these losers, is the way he puts it. He's like, okay, so even as he says that, he shows me a little break, and then I feel like you're in a relationship right now. And so he's differentiating that he's not talking about this relationship. He's talking about the past relationships. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm in a 7-year awesome relationship.
Okay. So that would make sense to me, because what he showed me is that he's been with you your whole life, trying to send you all of this love from a male perspective on the other side, so that you don't feel like you have to run into the arms of the first boy that comes along, you know?
Yeah.
And then he used the word losers. That wasn't really my word. That's not a word I use usually. I would say assholes, because I'm a cursor. But anyway, and then he definitely clarifies that the relationship now is different. And that's where he shows me my symbol for pride and gratitude, that he's very proud of the fact that you've learned to set these standards for yourself and not accept anything less. And that because of that, you've got this beautiful relationship in your world that he's extremely glad that you have, like grateful that this man is in your world. He's not always the nicest to you, I think, because your grandfather just put tape over his mouth and said he needs to watch his mouth sometimes.
Maybe with a certain time in our life, yeah.
But then he shows me my symbol for growth and my symbol for love, that ultimately he loves you more than anything in this world. And then he shows this, that the two of you are like two peas in a pod. And that you can't live without one another. You just make each other's lives better.
Yes.
He's like thanking him for what he did for you. He's talking about that your boyfriend now moved you out of a bad situation.
Yes.
And he wants to thank him for that. And then he said, just so you know, I'll be at your wedding. So is there a wedding coming up that you know of?
No, but I think this is the year that things will be moving forward.
I would absolutely say this is the year that things are moving forward.
Awesome.
He's like, you know what? He's pulling his energy back a little bit. He's like, I know you were expecting to talk to some other people, but that's not what you needed to hear today. What you needed to hear today was that his soul has been with you since the day that you were born, that he has never left you, and that he has loved you every single moment of your life. That he's extremely proud of the woman that you've become, and he wants you to take a deep breath in knowing that the choices and decisions that you're making now are coming from a healthy perspective and are coming from a deep sense of growth. That he's kind of apologizing, even though it's not his fault, for the pain that you went through in your earlier life, but he wants to let you know that due to your own hard work and the choices and decisions that you have made in your life, you are never going to have to revisit that type of pain again.
That's good to know. Thank you.
You're very welcome. He's being very specific and letting you know that there was one very scary night he's bringing up where I feel like if I was you, I would feel like my life was actually in danger. And then for whatever reason, I'm free to go and I'm okay now. And he's talking about being with you in that moment and never leaving your side and helping to keep you safe in that moment. Do you know what he's talking about, sweetie?
Yes.
So he's like, just know that there is not a single moment that you are alone. And when you need me, I will be there to help you, just like I was that night.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You take care, sweetie.
You as well.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're an angel.
Thank you. Bye. Aw, no, you guys are the angels. So sweet. Okay. Here we go. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Hi. Sorry, my voice is kind of going.
Oh, that's okay. Mine's about to go
Okay.
too, because I'm talking so
No
much
kidding.
and I have to pee
Yeah,
so
I
bad.
know. Oh, no. Oh, I hope you get a chance too soon.
Okay, well, we're going to just power through this, and I think I'm going to take just a 2-second break after this and just run pee.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what is your first name, hun?
My first name is Trish.
Trish?
Yes.
Okay, so I like to start with a grounding exercise. So
Sure.
if you can put both feet flat on the floor for me, and then if I can get you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe and slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 moment to focus.
Okay.
Okay, slow this down. Okay, I have to go to the ladies.
Okay.
3 ladies come through all at the same time. I don't know if they're
Okay.
sisters or best friends or what the heck this is, but they're like all come through at the same time.
Okay.
I feel like this is somebody that has reunited with her sisters on the other side, possibly.
Okay.
Give me a second here to try to separate and get them to validate how they passed away. Yeah, it's definitely, I can feel the connection more to the one female. Hold on a second.
Okay.
So what she does is she takes deep breaths, which is my symbol that she can breathe free and clear on the other side. And
Okay.
she's like running. She's not just walking, she's running back and forth. So that would
wow.
be an indication that either she was slowing down mobility-wise or that she had a lack of mobility towards the end of her life.
Okay.
Because oftentimes when I see spirit run like that, it's because mobility was very important to them in their life, that they were very high functioning or whatnot. So slowing down was not easy for them. And it's their way of letting you know that they're free on the other side.
Okay.
She lets me know that the gentleman is on the other side as well. I almost feel like that could be her husband. And then she's like, yeah, he's here too, but I've got my sisters, is
Really?
what she said.
Okay.
This feels like a mother figure, like a grandmother or a mother figure. Do you know, who is this to you?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's my grandma, but she only had one sister, as far as I know. Like maybe, I'm not sure if there was one that had passed, like with her parents, like.
No, actually, no, that would actually make sense to me, because remember when she first came forward and I said, I'm not sure if this is like her sister or her friends that were like sisters. It could be a mix of both, right? But I know for absolute certain that there is 3 of them. So there is your grandmother and 2 other ladies. So one could be a sister and one could be like a best friend or something that was like a sister to her.
Oh, yeah, yes.
That makes sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes.
So, because she's like showing me that her husband is there, and she's like, yeah, he's here, but you know what? My girls. Okay.
Yeah.
She feels, sometimes this happens, where spirit will come through and they almost feel relieved to be on the other side. Not because they don't want to be here in the physical world with their loved ones here, but because more of their loved ones that they lived with throughout their life are already on the other side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slow this down. That's, and I feel like she did not want to she didn't want to break down to that point where she was a burden. And so there's this feeling of being grateful that she passed when she did, and she didn't get to that burden level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like showing me my symbol for two things. For the whispering of the ear, which is my symbol that she's heard everything that has been said since she's passed away. And she's talking about taking the burden. She's showing me the symbol for taking the burden off somebody's shoulders. So somebody didn't get to see her, didn't get to visit her, or whatever this is before she passed away. And she's talking about that she doesn't want you to feel that she didn't know. She does. How do I put that? Hold on a second. Slow this down. Slow it down, or I can't say it. She doesn't want that person to think that she didn't know how much you loved her.
Okay.
She's like, I knew how much you loved me. I knew you would have been there if you could.
Could she be talking about my mom?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I was saying someone in the beginning, because I'm not sure if she's talking about you or this other person. I just know that she's expressing that somebody has this regret and is carrying this burden, and she doesn't want that anymore. She doesn't want her memory to be painful for anybody, because she feels like such a loving spirit, like somebody who just wanted to like offer so much love for anybody that she met.
Yes.
She's singing on the other side.
That's funny.
Why is that funny? Did she sing?
I don't know, because no.
Oh, okay.
No. But I could see she was sort of funny, goofy, kind of like, she liked to have fun, and I don't think she was a good singer.
Well, that's hilarious, because she's like, absolutely, she's like, Tracy, listen to this, listen, and then she starts singing, and I'm like, okay, I'll let them know.
What is she singing?
She just, you know what, the feeling around her soul is just that she is free. That she is free of the burdens, and it doesn't feel like she had an extremely, like some of us have had really harsh lives in the sense of like beatings and, harsh things, right? Her life doesn't feel harsh in that sense, but it feels like it was a lot of hard work, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like I worked my fingers to the bone from the day I was born until the day that I died, kind of feeling. And I am so free.
Very hard worker.
Yes, I am so free on the other side now that I don't have that compulsiveness to have to feel like I'm being productive or I shouldn't be here.
Interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So somebody else is trying to come through. Give me a second here.
Okay.
It's almost like, okay, the girls came through and now the boys are coming through. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
And I'm seeing that, like, the grandfather figure comes forward. But is your dad also passed away? Because he's bringing, he's bringing forward the gentleman that's in the generation below him. So I'm wondering if that's dad.
My dad is still alive, but his dad has passed.
Oh, your dad's dad? Okay, no, wait. So your dad, okay, hold on. Slow this down. The gentleman that's coming forward is bringing forward also the young man that is underneath of him. So he would have, if it's your dad's dad, then he would have had to have lost a nephew or a son or somebody underneath of him.
No, I don't think so. Is it like someone related to me, or?
All I know is this gentleman is stepping forward. This older gentleman definitely feels related to you. Feels like a grandfather or an uncle of some sort. It feels like a grandfather that would be bringing forward like an uncle or something. But he's talking about the young man that died in the tragedy or the accident many, many, many years ago.
Okay. It might have been my grandpa's brother who passed away in a fire.
There we go. Okay. So this is your grandfather's way of coming forward and bringing forward his brother then. But his brother was a child when he passed? Or younger? Like a lot younger?
No, like probably in his, I think in his late teens or even like a young adult.
Yes. So
like 18 or something like that.
Okay. So that would be why I see them in like a child kind of compared to your grandfather. Okay.
Right, yeah.
So it's his way of letting the family know that he's reunited with his soul on the other side, and that he's also letting me know that gives his soul a great deal of peace to know that he's okay on the other side.
Aww.
He's showing me family albums. Were you guys just looking through family pictures recently?
I was, yeah. But it was more of my family, like my own children and everything.
That's fine. It doesn't matter, because what he's doing right now is, by what he showed me, is sitting beside you as you're looking through these albums. It's his way of letting you know that his soul was with you at that exact moment. And he's talking about that you can still see his genes running through those boys.
Yeah, okay. That's funny.
He's so interesting. You have like 3 boys?
No, I have 1 boy.
Okay, so he's showing me 3.
Okay. There's 3 of us, like siblings, like
I see.
Myself, my brother, and sister. I don't know if that's what you meant.
Well, okay, that would make sense. The 3. Sometimes they go so fast that I'll put 2 messages into one and mix it up. So he's talking about the 3, but then he's also talking about the boy and the car.
You know what? My mom and my mom has a sister and also a brother, so it could have been even his own children, like his children too, right?
Well, it'll be the family. Okay, so this is why he's showing me the car.
Sorry.
So it's okay. So in order to figure this out, it's like a puzzle. I deal with this every day. In order to figure out who he's talking about, that's why he's bringing up the car. Because he's showing me the 3, and then he wants to talk about the car. And I feel like somebody is driving. The boy is about to drive, or the boy is driving, or we're going to be driving here soon. Somebody's driving.
Okay.
So I don't know if this means somebody's just getting their license, or if somebody's going on a long distance drive or whatnot, but he's talking specifically about the boy of the 3 that is going to be driving.
Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know right now. I'll have to think about it. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to ask him to validate, make it a little easier to validate something else. Interesting. Slow that down. So who's 16 right now? How old is your son right now?
Oh, my son is 11 and my daughter is 14.
14.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a nephew who's 13. So.
No. I think he's talking about your son is what's going on here. He's showing me 16. He's showing me the boy.
Okay.
And he's talking about that he's going to be watching over him when he starts driving. I don't know why he's so excited about the driving part, but he's making me feel like your son is a natural.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like, take that kid to the go-kart track, and he's going to whoop everybody's butt on that track because he's a natural. And I don't know, was your grandfather, did he like cars a lot?
Not necessarily. No. Trying to think. I'm sorry. I kind of really think he might have, but it didn't stand out. That does not stand out to me.
That's okay, because what you can do is take this information to your family and get them to validate it if they can. Because he's being very specific and he's not backing down. So there's something about the 3. So the family that has the 3 with the boy, that is something about the number 16. So I don't know if that's the boy is 16 or he's getting his license on the 16th or what that means. And something about driving and that he's watching over them. And he's like, clear the sidewalks. Like, I feel like this is somebody getting their license just by the talk that he's showing me, you know?
Okay.
But it definitely feels like under him. And when I just asked him, why are you doing that? Why are you getting her to like validate something instead of just telling her right now? Why are you trying to do something to validate later? And then what he showed me was pulling everybody back into the family. He's like, because he's like, this family comes together and then pulls apart for a while, and then comes together and pulls apart for a while, almost like breathing. And he's like, you guys need something to talk about. So that's what he's doing right now.
Interesting. Okay. Would it be I'm wondering if it's his own children, like my mom, my auntie, and my uncle, because they're not talking.
Interesting. So they're going to be the ones that have the knowledge of what he's talking about here.
Okay.
Hold on.
Because he keeps talking about 3, and I keep thinking that's them. Or us even, but...
He's very, his personality is kind of, He's a very smart man, I have to say. Like, very, very, very smart man. But it's almost like he wants me to work for this. You know what I mean? It's like nothing comes free, nothing comes easy. You're going to have to work for this. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, yes, I do.
And that's why your grandma was like, yeah, he's here. He can stay over there. I'm going to talk here.
They're so different. They were, yeah.
Interesting. So he's starting to pull his energy back.
Mm-hmm.
He's like showing me my thank you symbol and just, he's like, this is going to be more helpful than you know. It's going to get people talking. And he's like, and it's great for debate. He's like, I feel like he loves the debate aspect of it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Aww. He's singing happy birthday to himself as well as he pulls his energy back. So I feel like, is his birthday just past or coming up?
You know what? I have to ask my mom about that. I actually forgot. I don't know. I'll have to check. But that's interesting if it is close. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, well, I hope that was helpful anyway.
Okay. It was definitely lots of interesting stuff that came up. So we'll have to definitely look back at it. So thank you so much, Tracy.
You're very welcome. And if you validate that, post a comment on my video here so that you can let everybody else know.
I will. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, before I answer another call here, I want to do one more, but I have to pee so bad, and I don't want to take it away from someone and not be able to concentrate. You know what? There's only 15 minutes left. I'm just going to get through one more reading here. I'll be fine. All right, here we go. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. You're calling for the free readings?
I am.
Awesome. What is your first name?
Amy.
Amy. Okay. So if I can get you to put both feet flat on the floor for a minute, Amy, we're just going to start with a little grounding exercise, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so if I can get you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blowing it straight through the phone at me. And then just give me a minute to focus.
Okay.
Okay, slow this down, back that up just a little bit. Okay, so this lady's energy comes through and she's like, oh, thank God you answered that phone, Tracy. I would not be able to live this down if I didn't get through today. She's like, I've been told I had to get through today. So funny. There's definitely a mother figure feel to her. I can feel you're moving around as we're talking, correct?
Not right now, no.
Okay, because there's like energy swirling around you. It's making it a little bit, oh, that's just the kids in the background. Okay. It's just making it a little difficult to like hone in on that energy, you know what I mean? But I'm going to do the best I can here because she's really powerful. A lot of children today. Interesting. So this lady is coming forward with a child in her arms. So somebody has lost a child.
Yes, but I lost a little girl.
Okay, so this lady's coming forward with the child. I'm not sure who she is yet. Hold on a second. Interesting. So she shows me my symbol for distance. So that can either mean that she lived a good distance away from you in life, or that you didn't see her very much in life, or she passed a long time before you. She takes deep breaths, which is my symbol that she can breathe free and clear on the other side. There is possibly a breathing issue here in the physical world. And even as I say that, she just makes me feel like it just deteriorated as she got older. And I almost feel like she's limiting My cat's making an appearance. She's limiting her, hold on. She's cutting me off as I'm saying this. She's limiting her breath as she gets older. It's almost like as I'm starting to get older, everything's getting so much harder. And I just feel like this person has been on the other side for a very long time, like since you were very young, possibly.
I have a great-grandmother that passed away possibly 11, 12 years ago.
Okay. And would you understand the breathing issue with her?
Yeah, she had asthma, and we used to have to help her walk around.
There we go. That would be why it feels like it just keeps getting worse as I get older. This breathing issue gets worse. Okay. So she is the one that steps forward with the child. Do you know the sex of the child that you lost?
Yes, a little girl.
Okay, I was just going to say, I'm seeing a girl. Slow this down. Again, she shows me that she's perfect. She's like, actually what she does is she like takes her pajamas and she pulls them up to like her neck, and she's like, you'd never know. And she's taking me to the heart, like there's a heart or a chest issue. I don't know what she's doing because she's pulling up the pajamas, and I'm not sure why she's doing this. She's pulling up baby's pajamas. Okay, hold on a second. She's going really fast. So I'm going to just throw all this stuff out there, and then we'll revisit it, okay? So she pulls up the pajamas, and she's talking about how she looks absolutely perfect. And then she's showing me that there's a breathing or a chest thing that just stops, like, altogether. And then, interestingly enough, what is she? Pajamas, and she's putting them onto another child. Hold on a second. Slow this down. Okay, I know what she's trying to say. So, okay. So this child was never born, in other words. So that's why I'm getting confused with the pajamas, because this child passed away when she was still in your stomach.
I've had one child who died an hour after she was born. She didn't have any kidneys. So when she don't have kidneys, she doesn't have lungs. So her lungs were very small when she was born. She only lived for an hour. And I had a later miscarriage, and I had a few more miscarriages in between. So.
Okay. So thank you, because that explains why this is so confusing for me, because I'm trying to tune into one baby and I'm getting information from more than one. So I'm putting it all into one baby. Okay, so that actually explains to me why she keeps pulling the pajamas up, like trying to cover something like you can't see. Because as she pulls the pajamas up, she's like, look, she looks perfect. Like if you didn't know what was underneath there, then you would think she was perfectly healthy. Okay, so hold on. But then she's showing me putting these pajamas onto another child. So did you have a child after you lost that baby?
Yes, with the same dad.
There you go.
And when she was born, she has a print on her back. They always said it was God's thumbprint, and it was just wasn't her time, and she came back, but it was her time.
And I don't know if you guys can see this in the camera, but my hair's standing up on end here. That gave me the chills really bad, because that's exactly the situation, is that the soul of this child came back again. That it just, there's something about biologically, it's hard for your body to be able to maintain that pregnancy from start to finish, but
yes,
that this is God's way of letting you know that you are going to be a mother, that there will be another child, that it's almost like, don't fret just because that body didn't work. It's almost like if you go buy a car and it dies the next day, it's like, oh, well, we're just going to get a new one. And not that you replaced the child, but the soul of that child went into your next child. So that soul is still living. Do you know what I mean? Therefore,
yes,
it was just a body. She's like, basically she's saying, don't cry over that body, because that body was broken, and now I'm born into this body, and this body is perfect.
Wow.
Is kind of how I feel that. And the grandmother figure is just like, okay, so hold on. She's like got something else to say here. She shows me my symbol for the house. So usually when I see my, I know it's completely change of subject, but when I see the symbol for the house, it either means that somebody is thinking of moving, just moved, or renovations of some sort. It's something to do with the house. She's showing me the house and the thumbs up, and then my symbol for pride.
Oh,
Did you buy your own house recently or not that long ago?
no.
Are you thinking of moving soon?
No.
Weird. She just keeps showing the same thing. The house, the thumbs up, and then my symbol for pride, like how proud she is of you. So there's got to be something about your house then that is different or that has changed from the past, because it feels like there's growth here.
I'm living with my boyfriend now in his house.
There we go. Ah! So this is a recent change or not that long ago change?
5 years.
Oh, wow. That's a good little time. Hold on a second. Huh. Doesn't matter. As soon as I say, well, that's a chunk of time, that doesn't feel like, why would she acknowledge that? And your grandmother said because she needs to acknowledge that because it was one of the best decisions that you've made, and it was an extremely hard decision for you to make. It's almost like you are extremely independent, and it wasn't an easy decision for you to make. Does that make sense?
No. Yes.
That's why she would be acknowledging the house, showing me my symbol for thumbs up, good choice, and how proud she is of you for trusting your instincts and going with your heart instead of making a choice out of fear.
Okay.
Then she's also showing me packing her bag and going with you. But you must have small children now still, correct?
I have a 1-year-old now,
Okay.
yes, and my other ones are a little bit older.
Because she's showing me strapping a car seat in. She's talking about going on this trip, putting the car seat in, and don't worry, we'll keep them occupied. Like,
It's funny because we're on a trip right now. We just got to our hotel.
there you go. So this is her way of acknowledging that she came with you and that she's trying to keep the baby occupied in the back seat.
Oh,
Aww. She's pulling her energy back. I hope that that was helpful.
it was. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You have a wonderful
bless.
day. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, okay, guys, my head is done. My kids are having trouble being quiet in the background. I don't know if you heard them back there. But thank you guys all for tuning in today. It is pretty much 3 o'clock, so I am not going to take any more calls today. But yay, I'll be back on Tuesday. I absolutely will be back on Tuesday. And please, if you would like to come out and support the Mother's Day event, I would absolutely love that, to see your face there. So that'd be awesome. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.